Hi guys, this is Loaded Investor speaking. Today we're looking at a new cannabis superstore, Planet 13. Can they replicate their first store success? What legalities stand in their way? How high can they really go? Let's take a look. Overall media coverage would like you to think this is an off-limits sector and that nobody makes money off the cannabis market. This couldn't be further from the truth, as there are many profitable companies out there just a stone's throw away. Planet 13 are seeing record quarters and they're only doing curbside delivery of their products at the moment and none of the actual interface that they want you to experience. So let's start off by taking a little look at the CEO.
What does this look like when it's all built out, and what can people expect in terms of a total experience?
Well, I think upon full build out, this is going to be basically a self-contained cannabis entertainment complex. That's what it's all about. If you're a cannabis fan, a cannabis user, a cannabis curious, this is a destination. This is a place you can come to and spend hours. That's what it's all about. Our goal working with the regulators is to soon, have the ability to open up a lounge where customers can not only buy products here, but actually use them on site. So you use the product in the club, you enjoy the music, the dancing, whatever the case may be, and then you go back to your hotel room. You get back into, your cab, Uber or Lyft or one of our vans, and they drop you off at your hotel, and then you continue to play over there.
One of the main aspects I like about the leadership is they're focusing on what the customer wants, no matter how wild and wacky. It's important to listen to the customer and not be put off by taking risks on their behalf. This was one of Starbucks' early advantages, as even if it's a perception it wouldn't work out, it's not what we do at the company. Typically you want to listen to customers' needs, otherwise someone else will come in and capitalize on that customer pool. So the risk has to be taken on the customer's behalf, so you can then deliver what they want in advance and gain the customer pool. So Planet 13 really are a first mover in this aspect, and they achieve this quite well. They're moving to give a full user experience in this area. Examples of this customer focused experience are roof with 13 acrylic lit up lotus flowers, LED lights that can be played with by the customers from the ground, as well as digital graffiti wall for adults, pressure walkway, walking on the water creates an effect or galactic effects, aerial orb show, butterflies flying around. So really developing a new type of environment which is interesting for anyone to experience. An example of where this opportunity could lead. Casinos are in the gambling business, yet they build hotel space around their casinos, as well as restaurants and bars, and lease out space to other businesses such as clothiers and jewelry shops. Why? Because it keeps foot traffic within their immediate vicinity, so the longer the guests stick around, the more likely they will gamble, and time spent in an area of potential expenditure will inevitably lead to times the amount actually spent. Planet 13 is employing the same strategy, but in a different arena. Even if the smoking lounges and nightclubs aren't legally operational yet, the thought of linking weed to pizza and coffee will inevitably increase sales all round and bring people together. So this is an indicator that the concept can be a potential powerhouse. Like the casino, they can implement other avenues and use all the sides of their different business, like the coffee and the chocolate brand, to coexist and create a cross-platform cyclone of income.
Our goal is now Vegas, and we think we did that. And we wanted to bring an experiential component to cannabis and make this a must-see destination. It's not somewhere where you just come buy an eighth or a pre-roll and get back in your car and leave. And the whole idea is to have you come to the facility, enjoy the amenities that we have, spend some time here, and be part of this entire cannabis entertainment experience.
The business has vertical integration and high visibility, which means the company can grow its own cannabis and make its own products for wholesale, medical and retail markets. It sells both its own brands and other dispensaries throughout their huge superstore of 20,000 square feet. The products also includes Haha Gummies, trendy vape products, their own coffee brand, Dreamland chocolates, and also their own medicine store. This will create the whole 360 of visibility to get new products out there quickly, understand stock analysis, but also get the best price for the best quality for quality control as well. Overall, I think this may be the environment that current society may be missing. A more chilled out feel rather than arcades, casinos, or overlooking violent and aggressive alcohol drinkers when you're just trying to chill out after an intense week at work. we could well be looking at the next pizza planet for adults. One concern is the lack of growth in the current Vegas store, or not as much as people expected. One of the recent things is obviously lockdown. They're only surviving off curbside delivery at the moment, so the whole experience isn't there to see. And they're only hitting about 3% tourists at the moment, so huge upside once they've had a bit longer to be established. And people see it more as something to do in Vegas, more than a skeptical, shady business model set up by some guy that cooked it up down an alley. So once that is brought more into the awareness of the world as a whole, people will gravitate to Vegas to see this, and I think that will then drive on sales, obviously when lockdown ends. So, I mean, with the tricky laws in Nevada, tourists have no private residence to go back to and consume it, as they're not allowed to, and they're not allowed to consume it in there at the moment. However, it does look like Nevada will be relaxing its laws. It may just take a little bit of time. The management team have experience, with Larry being a former city councillor and Bob having 25 plus years experience in law, to tackle disputes and push implementation of their product and services on a global basis, I guess eventually, once they've got around America. And they're also making movements campaigning on their hypocrisy of mass alcohol usage and the discrimination put upon cannabis usage. Quick clip.
Armin Yaminijan, who owns this dispensary, says the law puts most of his customers in a tough spot.
About 70 to 80% are tourists.
And these people have no private space to go to because they don't live here.
Well, that's the problem. No other industry in the world can you buy a product and then not use it anywhere. It's silly.
For instance, people in California and Massachusetts may possess it or grow it, but not buy or sell it legally until next year. Sales are legal in Colorado, Nevada, and Washington, but for now, public consumption is banned. State Senator Tick Sagerblum supported legalizing marijuana here.
People are already buying it, people are using it, so this is not something new. It's just, let's go ahead and take the next step and acknowledge that fact and provide a venue for them where they can have fun.
Marijuana has a place in Sin City.
Exactly. Marijuana is perfect for Sin City.
The local marijuana industry is pushing to legalize pot cafes, the kind they have overseas in Amsterdam, and the kind that Colorado will roll out later this month. But for now, Margaret, what tourists buy in Vegas, they can't use in Vegas.
One of the ways to speeding up the process is moving to other states. Planet 13 acquired a dispensary for $30 million in California, and they're going to open up a new branch in Santa Ana. The success of this branch compared to the Vegas one is a big watch point and a big concern for analysts. Are saying, will it do as well? Because there's advantages to being on the Vegas Strip. However, the consumption laws only apply in Nevada. So when the Santa Ana branch opens up, people will be able to stay in there. They'll be able to chill, use the lounge, the nightclub, spend more time there, which means spend more money, and then usually be hanging out in groups, which will also increase spending. So I think the longevity of the stays at the California branch will propel that forward. And I think it'd just do just as well, if not better. So I can only see this as a positive and not a concern for Planet 13. I mean, especially the Vegas still has got far to go as well. I mean, the cannabis laws in Nevada, they're very tight, and going to Vegas, we all know gambling holds a crown for that perception. There's been reports of up to 1 hour wait time to get the product in Vegas, which is another concern. However, they're looking to amend these problems by doubling the sales floor and expanding the dispensary to 23,000 feet. But overall, a very well reviewed store online, and should be fully ready and expanded by Q1 2021 in time for the post-corona travel rebound. And if we take a look at the consumption of cannabis over the next 5 years in California, which will be the first expansion site for Planet 13, it all bodes well for the future of this company, as doubling from 4 billion to 2 billion is forecast, and I can see this branch doing just as well, if not better than the Vegas one. Future projects include expansion opportunities in multiple cities around America: Boston, Miami, Phoenix, LA, San Fran and Reno. More opportunities will open up as legalities become more clear. Okay, looking at the financials now, with current assets of 68 million and current liabilities of 80 million as of September 30th. The current ratio of assets to liabilities looks healthy at about 3.7 times. Liquidity risk is therefore extremely low. Momentum is growing as the business is firing on all cylinders. Q3 was a breakout quarter with record revenues of 22 million and an EBITDA of 6.2 million. The strong performance of three segments of revenue, deliveries and wholesale have led to a profitable quarter for the company. Even if it is just a 0.2 million of net income, the balance sheet has dramatically improved year on year. Additionally, total assets rose by 99.5% from Q3 in 2019 to Q3 in 2020. And total liabilities rose less, only 81%. So the gap is widening between the assets and liabilities. And it's incredible performance during a pandemic-struck year. So I'm managing when it's fully open. So to put simply on all that, multiple equity offerings and general strength for the business have improved the balance sheet dramatically. Free cash available is further increasing. But with a strong cash ratio of cash to paying off liabilities and current cash stores, that they like to stay liquid, and thus banks are more likely to lend the money if they need it. And share dilution isn't incredibly high considering it's a small growth company. If we look at the 63 million revenue in 2019 compared to just over 21 million in 2018, and if you think this is from only one superstore, with a second store on the way that's soon to open up, and the current facility is expanding massively, you can only imagine what the numbers are going to look like in a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when you consider lockdown lifting, legalization and internal expansion. So it's looking very promising. Although it won't be in full profitability for a while, generally you want to get the businesses before they're profitable with a bloody good chance of growing. That's where you're going to make the best returns to get in before Wall Street. And you achieve that by putting in the work. They could be profitable now. However, I would prefer they use my investment to expand, especially when there's much to gain in a fresh new sector. If you take a look at their heavy capex spending, so spending on property, plant and equipment, there's a lot of meat on the bone due to expansion, so looking all good there. In terms of its competitors like Tilray or Aura, their competitors seem to be in huge amount of debts. I mean, Aura massively overshooted in 2020, and they overdid their production facility, so they spent most of 2020 cropping out non-core assets. When we all know that the hard part is positioning your business for growth and growing healthy natural revenue or organic revenue within the business. So Planet 13 seems to have achieved that, and they're pushing on and coming up fast, and they seem to be trading at a lot lower rate than its competitors, around $4 or $5. And I think the reasons keeping the stock down won't ring true. I think the laws are only going to be more relaxed. Their California branch is going to come up strong, and I think it's looking very, very good for the future of this company. If the new California store takes off and later down the line legality is completed in Nevada and nightclubs and lounges get set up there too, we could see fireworks for this stock. However, it's already a complete business model under experienced leadership in a market that will inevitably grow over time while listening to what the customer wants and providing it in a safe environment. If you want a potential punt on a powerful penny stock, a small position is warranted for a company with strong leadership, strong balance sheet and an aggressive 5-year expansion plan.
Next shuttle liftoff scheduled for T-minus 30 minutes and counting.
Enter. Welcome to Pizza Planet.
What a spaceport!
Good work, Woody.